Broadcasting from the jungles of Southeast Asia, it is time for the Ed Namrock Podcast.
Feliz Navidad, dun, 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 dun. Feliz Navidad, dun, 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 dun. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Dun, 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 dun. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. It's that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm reaching the end of another year. I want to say 2020 needs to get done with. But I also hate to say this, that I have a feeling that 2021 is just round two of round one, which is 2020. And just a quick update on the stimulus bill that was supposed to be passed and got vetoed by President Trump. At this point, I'm just mad at the establishment because these sons of bitches get paid $130,000 a year, and to argue for almost 9 months to let us know that they're only going to give us $600. Trump wants more than that, more than 2,000, which is still more than he makes. So fuck him too. But these people just can't seem to get along. And quite frankly, now no one is getting any money this upcoming week because the checks were supposed to come as late as this week. And, yeah, it was supposed to be direct payments for most Americans from $600 to $2,000 for individuals and $4,000 for couples. We were looking forward to that money because, you know, when you're a 10-month employee, it's a different budget. I mean, I don't make that much money at all. As a matter of fact, I took a humongous pay cut. I mean, I'm pretty transparent with my career, but, you know, that's why, you know, I seek entrepreneurship opportunities, which I know, you know, doesn't defeat the purpose for me contributing back to youth and society, which has always been my goal. But nonetheless, it's like here's the thing. Here's my perspective on money. Money is always going to be the prize for your hard work and dedication for what you are passionate about. Meaning, I'll give you an example. I mean, I can only speak for this sector, which is the entertainment sector. If you play in a band, if you're playing a rock band, whatever, don't do it strictly for the money. It will be short-lived. I guarantee you it will be short-lived. Don't do it for the money. That's all I'm going to say, because at this point, all these gig economy people, I completely empathize with them because they are struggling to pay rent. They're probably back to $5,000, almost $7,000 in rent. And you're really going to give them $600. Think about that. Yeah, it isn't right. You know, that's just my rant, and that's just the bone I have to pick with this establishment. I don't really favor a side. I really don't. I mean, I'm left leaning because of my personal beliefs. But nonetheless, I mean, I know the Constitution very well. Shit, for crying out loud, we had to rehearse the preamble right after the fucking Pledge of Allegiance at City Terrace Elementary in 6th grade. Believe that shit. So, you know, whatever. But nonetheless, I'm bringing back my brother from another mother. And what the fuck you have there?
Yeah, I blast your ass.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned that you had a sleepless night last night, right?
Oh,
well, I kind of did too. I mean, for me, I went to sleep late because of this that I was just reading. But this is something that, you know, I try to drift my mind away from. I mean, I know we all do.
Mhm.
and I start digging into other shit. And thank goodness, while I was really just into this whole COVID relief bill and I was just getting mad with each thing I was reading, you sent me that documentary on YouTube.
Oh.
And that just turned my whole that I was like, okay, now I got to put this subject down and check this shit out.
Well, I I
And
I I I figured you might wanna see it because I don't know, dude, for some reason for this past week, you've just been so enthused in our message, in our group messages with that subject. I'm like, "What the heck? Okay, fine. Here, check this out, check that out. Here, look at this and read that, look at this picture." Things like that, because it's not it's not new, but you've seen your shit. You've seen your fair share of stuff, so I figured you should watch this because something really similar in that documentary happened to you when you recorded that video and you sent it to me at your house. That thing going in and out of your neighbor's house. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not only that, but I remember you sent me something that you saw in the sky
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
seemed very unidentified, obviously. But in the same token, you can't really make out what it was.
But that's what makes
And
it. That's what makes it
yeah,
a UFO because you can't
exactly.
tell what it is.
What's up,
So
Robbie? You tuned in just at the right time. I just had heard gunshots outside my house, by the way.
no way.
Yeah.
I've been hitting
uh,
fireworks in my
I
outside
mean,
my.
it's been kind of hot in the neighborhood. I mean, it's usually around Christmas time. Everything's hot everywhere because today at the Whitwood Mall at the Coles,
Mhm.
some I guess some apparently some gangster looking dude shot his girlfriend or wife in the face 5 times at the cash register inside in front of the kids and jammed.
What the fuck?
That was today.
Wow, I didn't see that. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not on you know, hooked it to the news
Well,
stuff.
I
So
didn't either, but in the same token, it's like shit, man. Like I people are losing their fucking minds, man, and you can't really. It's sad, man. I mean, it remembers. It's to me, it's reminiscent of what happened with the Christmas Day massacre in West Covina when the guy dressed up as fucking Santa Claus and just murdered the entire household.
oh, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I just read a story of what happened in Canada this past. I think was it this week or a few months ago, actually. A dude dressed up as a cop, right? Like total replica car, everything, decals, everything. He went like all the way getting this car to look just like one of the Canadians' cars and shit. I don't murdered 23 people in the span of 90 minutes, dressed up as
wow.
a cop. Like he burnt down their houses. He killed these people. One of them got away. Actually, a woman got away, and as the information was going out to see who they were looking for, like he would drive by the
Yeah,
cops that were going to the scene, and they didn't say anything because they're like, "Oh, he's one of us," until an actual troop, until like an actual, I guess another trooper or Mountie, um, crashed into him because they were chasing him afterwards,
yeah.
and he killed her. Like he killed a female officer, took all her weapons, and they cornered him at a gas station and they killed him there. Yeah. But it's crazy.
God,
It's like I
that's
can't believe
terrible.
shit like that happens. It's like fuck.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, not to get morbid like this, but you know, and then you pretty much try to get your mind away from this stuff, and this is the thing you sent me. And speaking of the it's funny because me and my neighbor were reminiscing about this thing, and I told him about the documentary, but now he's scared shitless to watch it too.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it was right above our property when I saw that,
I
and
know. You sent me the video, and it was crazy because I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And it kept
yeah.
flying in and out of his house, and you're like, "Look, check it out." And I was like, "What?" I don't know. I couldn't.
Well, Well, it looked like I mean, now watching the documentary, I know what an orb
Well,
is,
I thought
and
it
I
was a
didn't know you can
firefly.
basically grayscale or emboss and flip the negative on videos and film, so
Uh-huh.
that way you can see it a lot cleaner. And I'm about to try that with the thing that you sent me and the
Oh,
video that I captured as well. Um, but this shit got really deep, and it was reminiscent of me watching those old UFO videos in the
uh-huh.
90s and the early 2000s,
Yeah,
which just that's how long it's been around. And
it's been
to
longer,
think
dude.
now, Roger, the Canadian, was it the former prime minister or something like that, the
Hmm.
former defense secretary of Israel, they basically say, yes, there's shit out there. We just, we contain it because of this.
Yeah,
Because the people will ransack toilet paper again if we tell them this.
yeah, yeah.
That's really the only reason why. Look at
The
Bodhi's.
pe- it's like, remember the movie Signs?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you
How
remember
can I
how
forget it? It's one of the most traumatic movies I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude.
I always think back to the line that Kieran Culkin said. He said, "This is going to change our history. History as we know it is going to change. Our
Yeah,
written history, like past history. If shit were to if things were to come to light and say, oh yeah, if they just say, yeah, it's all real, they've been here, they've influenced, they've helped, humanity. Um, we have technology. They've, everything that was written in our past history gone,
yeah,
totally gone. And it's really going to affect, and I really think that it's going to, like, cause a holy war, is all the religious fanatics. Because not only are they
really,
going to say, yeah, because I mean, not only is it going to go up against what the word of God, or written words of, like, all these, different, from different languages, um, like the Quran, the Bible, things like that. Most of that stuff is not going to be relevant. But if you were to read some of that stuff that's on there, it kind of depicts, sightings. People in the past have seen shit,
no,
and they don't know how to describe it.
it's interesting you bring that up because you and I, being raised Catholic, we've read the Old Testament.
Yeah,
We were kind of force fed into that religion, and then later we discovered some Christianity stuff, and I read the New Testament, and
yeah,
then I didn't know there was another version of that. It was the King James version, and I'm
yeah.
like, what the hell? It's like albums and shit.
It changes.
It's the
It's
original and then the remix, and it's like,
But the thing is,
okay,
who
why are
knows
they
how many
rewriting
times?
this stuff?
Like, who knows how many times it's been changed? Who knows? You know,
I even read the
co-
Quran, dude. I read it.
I haven't read that one.
Same exact concept. I'm like, okay, so obviously the people that were reading this stuff and looking up to the sky, just like the background I have right now, dude, that's the Christmas star, which happened last night.
I
Someone
thought that
had to
was the
be
alignment.
watching it. Well, yeah, I mean, they call it the Christmas star because of the conjunction with Saturn and Jupiter, and it happens every what? It hasn't happened since 1620 or something like that.
Oh, cool.
It's been a while. So, and all the new agers are pretty much saying that it's a new birth of consciousness, and we're reaching more of an age of where men are going to be more in touch with their
Enlightened.
feminine side or something like that. I don't know much about it. I'm not an expert on it. I mean, I can dig in, but I got to see it first.
So
Proof's got to be
the
in the pudding,
the
basically.
documentary I sent you, and the things that they were saying about this guy, how he's saying he sees the world in a different way. Uh, he's not like a normal person, even though he is.
Yeah,
He just doesn't know it. There's been talk now about, like, interviews with abductees and shit like that. And I remember an interview of someone asking these, other beings. other entities. They asked about, well, what about Jesus Christ?
Hmm.
What was he about? And their response was, he didn't belong here, not at that time.
Really?
He was a human. Yeah, he was a human that he was born with his switch in his brain turned on. So basically, he had access to a portion of the mind. This is my interpretation. He had access to a portion of the mind that allowed humanity, that allowed us humans to
Hmm.
utilize our own energy to heal, to change, to to make things happen. You know,
Yeah.
it's exactly what Einstein said. He said if we use 10% of our brain, but if we were to use 100% of our brain, we wouldn't need our bodies anymore. We'd become pure energy.
Right.
We would transcend
Which
this
is
form.
interesting because I believe it because a lot of modern day magicians, for example, like David Blaine, they know how to tap into that stuff. And then we have people like Elon Musk, we have people like Bill Gates, we had people like Steve Jobs.
Hmm.
It's very possible. And who
But
knows
here's
what
the
type of
thing.
things he was doing back then because all they had was time.
Yeah, but all these geniuses, all these what they call savants, have some kind of brain defect. Like
Yeah. Like,
they
like
might
autism,
autism,
borderline,
dyslexia.
yeah,
They have
special learning
small basal
disorder,
ganglia,
basically.
things like that. But they're better at certain other things. They have a perception of certain things that are far beyond our own. So
Yeah.
that's why with this guy, when I showed you this, it's like they said, yeah, he's special because he has something different, you know, within him, and
Right.
that's what made me think about that shit about like, oh fuck, yeah, they said the same thing about Jesus, you know,
Yeah.
because he had the power to heal with your touch, and it's like, fuck, dude, we can do that. Our bodies heal ourselves, like they heal themselves.
Is
You know,
that why they're demoting the Pope? The Pope was
um,
asked to step down after Christmas. Oh my God, what's
maybe
happening?
maybe it was because of the hologram.
Oh man, dude, don't get me started on that.
No, but anyways, you were talking about how sleepless nights and shit.
Yeah.
I did not sleep a fucking wink last night because I basically scared myself shitless
You
watching.
did it. We just so people know, we do this on purpose. We've been doing this for the past 26 years, but
Yeah, but
Roger's known to do it
uh,
more often than I am. So
I just like I don't know. I got bored and I just wanted to watch some shit on YouTube, and I just started browsing, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Scary videos of scary TikTok videos, shit like that. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And yeah, you would see some weird shit, and I was like, fuck, that's freaky. And I would look at the corner of my room just to like, okay, there's nothing there. I'm gonna turn my light on, just to be safe. But I found out about this thing called what's it called? Randonautica. It's an app.
Randonautica.
Yeah, like Random Nautica. So basically, it's a combination of the word random and nautical, or nautica means like voyage and shit like that.
Mm, right.
So the way this app works is you're supposed to download this app on your phone, obviously, and then you get it started. You enter, I guess your preferences or something, but you need to enter what is called your intent. So what is your intent to using the
What?
app today? Yeah, it's
Mm,
crazy, dude. So most people would say, I want to find treasure. So they say, okay, I want to find treasure. And then you send it, and the app starts to work, and it starts to say, okay, focus on your intent, breathe, things like that. Because you see it, I'm watching this on the screen, and then it marks a location that's like about maybe no more than 3 miles from where you're at. That's usually how it works. It's a random location, right? And it tells you
it
that you
sounds
need.
like spyware to me.
It could very well be. It could very well be because I was watching this guy's channel, and they're avid Randonautica users,
Yeah.
and because they say when people if you use it, you'll get addicted to it because you'll have
Wow,
fun.
really?
Well, you have fun with it because you're doing it with a group. But one of the rules is, well, they say there's three rules. one is don't do it alone.
Hmm.
Two is don't do it alone, especially at night, like late night. Don't do it late night. And three, don't. It says don't say your intent out loud. But anyways, the way it works is you put your intent in the app, and then
Yeah.
it marks the place on a map nearby, like 3 miles from you, and you open whatever map software you have, and it gives you directions, and you have to go to the actual pinpoint where it's at. You know, it's it, yeah, I guess what he's saying, but you have to like get to the pinpoint to the actual spot. And it could be like a random location. And I would watch this shit. It would send these people to like um behind stores, like in the parking lot areas, or to like dead end streets and shit like that, or like
Yeah.
vacant abandoned looking parks and stuff, because they're doing it at night, and
Yeah.
everything looks so creepy at night. And you have to get there. Once you get there, you need to look. Like you get out of your car, and it gives you have to look around 100-foot radius of your pinpoint to find what you're looking for. And you don't know what you're looking for. You can be any kind of random shit that you can perceive as your treasure or whatever it is. And then if you find it, awesome. If you don't, then you move on to the next location. You keep going. This channel, though, that I was watching, I don't know if this is real or not, but this guy ended up having a stalker. Like him and his wife were being stalked by some psychopath that kept leaving
Wow.
creepy drawings, like these creepy drawings, like all scribbled in like faces and shit with like red crayons and shit scribbled up at their locations before they even got there. So
Really?
yeah, it's like the dude either hacked their phone or put a tracking device on their car and shit like that. You have to watch this channel. It's crazy. It keeps continuing. So the more videos this group put out, the more I realized that, okay, it's fake. But there's TikTok videos of Randonautica being
Oh
used.
shit.
And I saw this one where this girl was sent to like a bridge, underneath a bridge where this creek was running, and she was by herself, and she did find like creepy drawings, like a little journal of like a little girl, writing in her book and shit. And she heard like this crazy, like creepy voice from under the bridge, and she
Oh
bolted,
shit.
like she bolted, But she went back two more times, and she found more drawings, and she found like a makeshift Ouija board there. And you see, I don't know if it's real or not, if these people are making shit making shit up just so they can get views, or if this is an actual legit shit, and like, people go missing, or you get ambushed by whoever's waiting at your pinpoint. So
What?
that's like,
You
I don't want
say
to try it.
that's how people go missing, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to
What
fucking.
Boris said. Talking about weird stuff. Have you ever put something in the microwave? Set the time for 2 minutes, and when it's done, 5 minutes have passed. Yes, dude. Okay, funny story about that.
Yeah.
I remember setting. I was making. This is like a year or two ago. I was making. I think it was one of the Campbell soup that comes in the lid container with the holes in it. You have to open it, and it's microwavable, right?
Oh, the sippy cup.
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes, whatever. I just
Yeah,
wanted something hot and salty. I didn't want to make ramen, whatever. And I
that
set
didn't
it
sound
for
right, but
3 minutes.
okay.
3 minutes, right? And some time travel shit just happened where the 3 minutes kept going for some fucking reason. Totally sober, dude. And I went and used the restroom, came back. I didn't hear the beep. And the thing was barely like on 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And it felt like I'm pretty sure this was already 10 minutes past.
It's a glitch in the
And
matrix,
I'm
bro.
like, wait a minute. And then finally, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just make sure I'm not tripping. And I need to put like 12 or something. And I opened it and I made sure I touched it with like, like a napkin. And now it was like, oh, it's not even fucking hot yet. What the
You
fuck?
you You have to look at those shits, at those freaking. Again, I'm not an avid TikTok user, but there's a lot of TikTok videos
I am.
on YouTube.
I'm on that conspiracy TikTok
Okay,
trip.
well
So
look up glitch in the matrix, man. You're gonna see some.
glitch in the matrix.
There's videos.
Wow.
Dude, there's videos of like birds frozen in the sky, like mid flap, not moving.
No.
There's also,
Hold
frozen
on. Okay,
planes.
now hold on. I know this is going to be an early millennium show, but now glitch in the matrix, TikTok, and we are
And
going into this fucking. Oh yeah,
yeah,
we're going into the
it.
fucking rabbit hole,
I'm
dude.
watching this. I'm like, that can't be real. But there's people around reacting to this fucking frozen bird that's not flying. You know, there's security camera footage of like this little kid walking with his friends, and he stops mid step, like his knee was up in the air, and he just like paused while his other two friends kept walking. And then like five
Shut the
seconds
fuck
pass.
up.
Yeah, 5 seconds pass, and he kept going, and he started to run to catch up to them, like if nothing happened.
Okay, this is a compilation that I quickly searched on YouTube, and let's look at this shit.
Yeah. Okay, that I think that was
Wait,
fake.
what?
The teleporter, the
Okay.
Chinese teleporter. Everybody's
Well,
saying that that's real.
any Asian CCTV to me is always suspect for some reason. You can't tell. There's a bunch of shit that happens in Korea
Yeah.
and China, whatever, dude. It's like to get Boris. Man, I was having lines and milk. Now I'm switching to beer. Let's keep watching. What else is this? Let's see.
So he thought he hit the person.
Welcome to Glitches in the Matrix.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird.
Look at
But
that
it's up.
again, dude.
We
Like
haven't
you can
seen.
actually scrub through it and see if you can. Like what hit it?
I don't know.
He said, all right, Robbie said not to burst anyone's bubbles, but most of the time you're looking at videos that are CGI. Yes, absolutely true.
Yeah, you could
But,
tell.
when you find a legit, like, I'll give you an example that I found on YouTube. I believe, here's the thing is YouTube is going to filter out a lot of this shit. So this is why TikTok was deemed a threat to national security because one, it was, Chinese owned basically, and
Right.
it was supposedly a big threat to national security because of a lot of information that was being leaked on there. Now, here's the thing: there's a desktop version of TikTok. The only thing is you can't search on it. That's the only problem.
Well, I mean, I can believe that they're gonna do shit to YouTube because look what they did to Pornhub. So
Yes, as you go to places like ILM and
yeah.
show them, I did this viral video. Okay. And Chris, look, I'm wearing the hat. Que Padre Clothing. Thanks for the swag, man. Shout out to Que Padre Clothing. So here's there's I think is it this one that I saw? Yes, look.
That's the Charlie Chaplin.
What is this?
Here's
They
a
say that there's a supposed time traveler in that one, but
one
it's not.
phone in the background.
Someone using a cell phone. That guy right there. But it
Wait,
was
what?
it was debunked.
Someone,
It,
was it?
supposedly it was a cell phone, but it was debunked because back then there was a hearing aid tool that you can actually put this thing in your ear, and it amplified whatever sound like a tube and shit.
Not
The frozen plane.
hovering
Oh,
in
that's,
the air.
see,
What the fuck? That plane was just hovering in the air?
now,
Welcome.
that could be, that one is kind of iffy because it could just be by, you're going in one direction and it's the
Right.
perspective. But there was a few that I saw where it's actually like Like there's this plane flying over a freaking building, and it stopped. Like it stopped. It didn't cross the building, and people were still looking at it like, what?
Interesting. Let's
Yeah,
see.
it's weird.
Okay, this one has random scary videos in it, so I'm pretty sure this one is going to. Okay, there's a hovering bird.
Yeah, the hovering bird.
There's real life glitches caught on camera. It looks like this one's more recent. This one here. And this one's titled Random Scary Video. So let's see what this one's all about. Yes, I would like and subscribe if I feel like it. When the NBA was perfectly in sync, what is that? Whoa, hold on. I need to see this one because I've heard of this before and I don't know exactly what it meant. Hold on, let that load. When you go to Costco to buy socks and when you check out and the bill is $600, that's just that's a glitch in the matrix for me. Where'd my money go? All right, let's see what this video is all about. And coincidentally, he's not letting me play it. Okay. Whoa, what the fuck? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy. Oh
they
my
all
god, that is fucking wild.
They just all go. What are we looking at?
Oh shit, okay.
What?
It's like she touched her chin or some shit. Watch. Or something. I don't know. It looks weird.
I think you have to hear that one.
Yeah. A nail? Okay.
Where'd it come from?
That's the
Like,
exact same nail too. Oh shit, where'd it
it's
go?
gone.
What the fuck? So my
Magic.
boyfriend and I went through our dash cam footage. What the fuck is this? Whoa, what the fuck? Did you see that?
The car was making a left turn.
Whoa. That's it,
What?
bro. That's from all the training they go through. It's like everyone knows the next move. I guess, but who's fucking hiding all the secrets? What the fuck?
No, the real weird one was this little boy coming out of nowhere, appearing out of nowhere with his TikTok dance. These, I guess you have to like listen to these.
Yeah, I know. And fuck, man. Okay, they have to have a graphic like that. Sons of bitches.
Yeah, but it's crazy shit.
This is an actual. Okay, well, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing with his TikToks. His name is The Bunny. All right, let's see. Or Adventure, whatever his name is. These look like they're doctored.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? I mean, this is
some of them look really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, you notice that.
But But it's like
speaking of
it's those
early
things that-
millennium movies and late 90s movies, they were making that's when the Matrix debuted. And we got to know what a simulation is all about and what's really behind that whole theory. And that single-handedly like just changed my perspective on, more. There's more to cover than we've been already fucking taught as kids and young adults.
Mm-hmm.
Like who knew about this shit a long time ago, didn't really say anything, and why, but now I know why, because people start to freak out.
Yeah, people panic. I mean, look at War of the Worlds. Look what happened there. And that was just a radio show. That was a radio program.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I mentioned earlier, it's like if for some freaking reason they say, "Oh yeah, it's all real," you guys have been lied to all this time. Shit's gonna hit the fan, dude.
Totally,
People will panic. People will panic. I think eventually, in the long run, it will come to fruition. But once we have more advanced technology, to a point where all of the stuff that they're hiding is going to surface, like for example, clean, more like a better source of clean energy. Besides utilizing our resources and stuff. I think shit like that, once that happens, it's going to definitely change our minds.
It's have you guys ever seen Predestination? No, I have not.
Never heard of it.
No. We'll bookmark that one. But speaking of early millennium films that we were kind of okay, so this is the timeline behind that. I remember we graduated in 1999, and we had a pretty good amount of good movies that year.
Yeah.
Then came 2000, the whole Y2K thing, and we were all freaked out, and we already talked about that shit, and it was fucking funny.
It's happening. It's happening.
So I go on IMDb and see like what came out that year, just in 2000, and I was like, God, I forgot how many great movies came out that year. And Bodhi said when the Matrix came out, I had a coworker literally go crazy. The movie had confirmed everything he had read. Oh shit! And that movie came out in 1998, I believe.
99, wasn't it?
Around there, late 90s. But I looked into all the films that came out that year, and I'm like, holy shit, Roger, look at all of these. What's the first one? This is sort of by popularity, and look at that, because it grossed in 260 million that year. So How the Grinch Stole Christmas is one of the most popular millennium films of that year. That's fucking crazy. From the 1st of January to the very end, to New Year's Eve in December.
Wow.
And then Little Nicky.
Good movie. That one didn't age well. That one's a good movie. It's funny, but it didn't age well.
I mean, here's the thing about Adam Sandler. He's an acquired taste. I know a lot of people that didn't find him funny at all.
Right.
And I thought he was fucking hilarious from the get-go, from the time he was on SNL to his film career, to the whole Happy Madison productions. I think he's a fucking genius. And now I guess he's exclusive to Netflix. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think so. That was a good movie, though.
Wild,
I enjoyed the movie because it was funny. It had a lot of cool jokes in it. But when you watch it right now, it's one of those movies that didn't age well. What I mean by that, it's got like really bad CGI in it.
Wow.
Back then it was cool, but now it's like you watch it. It's like watching a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 graphics on your screen. It's like
the intro screen.
Well, when CG shit happens, like when he turns into all these little spiders,
Yeah.
or where the devil, like I guess their dad, the devil, was just a mouth and ears, and you see the mouth moving. It looks so fake. They could have done like a little puppet with latex, but instead it's like
Yes.
really bad CGI.
Yeah, the soundtrack to that film was really, really good. I forgot. I know POD was in it and a couple other bands. I never got to see this one though, Family Man with Nicolas
That's a
Cage.
good one.
Even though I think
That's a good one.
you're gonna hate me for saying this, I think Nicolas Cage is the greatest actor of all time,
Uh, okay, I would agree with you.
aside
You
from
know,
Denzel.
watch
But
it.
the reason I don't categorize Nicolas Cage with the top 5 is because he's completely unorthodox. He's not like
Right.
he's out of this world. He's outrageous, dude. Like no one acts like that guy. I mean,
But that's what makes
Denzel
him so
Washington
cool.
for me though, Denzel Washington, he's number 1. Like he's my top guy. Second to him is Jim Carrey.
Okay.
But Denzel Washington, that man could act in anything. You could put him in anything, and he's proven it time and time again.
Yeah.
Look at Chris. He's like, what the fuck? Yeah, Nick Cage is the fucking man. To me, he's the man. And
Okay,
this
he's
one,
cool.
I never saw Family. I know Taya Leone's in it, and
Yeah.
Don Cheadle and Jeremy Piven.
Cheeto, yeah, you got to watch it. It's a really cool what if story.
And then I saw this one. I'm like, dude, I must watch Gladiator. Man, I lost
I've seen that,
track,
like,
dude.
I don't know. I know I've seen it like at least 10 times. And when I bought the extended cut edition where it showed like
Is it the
different-
tiger gore that they showed?
no, they show the executions of the guards
Oh yeah,
that failed to kill him and shit like that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh wow, I didn't see that in the theatrical release. You know, things like that.
yeah.
But I did notice a sound effect in there that belonged in a video game, and it was in that movie.
Oh wow, are you serious? Is it Wilhelm scream?
No, Wilhelm Scream is not in a video game. Where they're fighting they're in the gladiator, the arena, and he's fighting the guy who came back from retirement, the tiger guy.
Oh yes. I forgot his name.
Like there's this one sound where he grunts, like he does a grunt, but it's actually a sound effect of Andy Bogart from King of Fighters.
Is it one of the KOF sounds?
It's a KOF sound effect that they put into.
I never spotted that. I gotta see it.
If you watch it, I'll send you the sound effect. I'm gonna look for this sound, and then you're gonna find it.
It's like I've always tried to listen out for recycled sound effects, and it's always the grunt from Street Fighter 2 that I always look up with. I can never find it in any.
I always listen for the Wilhelm scream. I always listen for
Wilhelm
that
for sure. Okay, Requiem for a Dream. I have not watched, dude.
I don't.
That's
Is it a Hindi
Ellen
movie?
Burstyn, Jared Leto, Jennifer Connelly, and Marlon Wayans is in it. I forget what the film's about, but it's the drug-induced utopias of 4 Coney Island people are shattered when their addictions run deep. So it's kind of like a drug movie, I guess. But not the same year. But how do you feel about Mandalorian not using the Wilhelm? Rob, I have not watched one episode of The Mandalorian, and I need to do that ASAP.
Blasphemy!
I haven't fucking watched it, man. And we have Disney Plus, me and Roger. You know, thanks to our buddy who so kindly put us on his family account. But I haven't watched it. I'm having FOMO because everyone is crying right now.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, season 2 ending was tragic.
No spoil. Oh, shut up! I haven't seen it yet, dude. I haven't seen season 2 yet.
What's the movie with Jim Carrey that was shot in Poland? He was a cop. Great movie. Oh shit! Is it
Me, Myself, and Irene?
Is that the one where he's a cop? Right?
Yeah, Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't recall him on another role, him being a cop. Just that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he was a cop in that movie.
Look at everyone. What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? I have not watched it, man. I need to get on the train. As a matter of fact, I'm making it a point to make sure I finish at least the first season before the year's end. Only because I am a very, very big fan of Star Wars franchise, and I have not yet missed a movie
You can
or even a cartoon.
you can finish watching it in like 4 hours. Less
I
than
know,
that,
because I know the episodes are like
20
they're
minutes.
short. They're like 30-minute, 35-minute episodes. I'm hearing.
Yeah, but
It's just
I've only seen the first season, and I waited till all the episodes for second season to come out.
I have to do it this late, Roger, because you pop on Disney Plus and the whole family sees all the selections, and they're not gonna want to watch Mandalorian, dude.
Oh, yeah, they will.
They want to. No, not in my household, dude.
Jen's gonna fall in love with the child.
Nah,
Yeah, she will. Yeah, she will.
I doubt it.
She's gonna make you go and buy the toy. Watch.
My wife thinks that Star Wars is for nerds, and I'm like, well, I am a nerd, so fuck you. You're not a Star Wars fan, bro. You know you're blasphemy.
We're not nerds. No,
shame on me for not watching The Mandalorian.
We're not nerds, dude. We're geeks. All right.
Geeks. I don't even know what the definition of either one is, but Frank, what's up? Mandalorian is awesome, and that man, I will trust his word, and everyone else is here because Frank knows film. Frank knows photography. Frank knows production. But I know a lot of other people know shit when shit sucks, totally fucking sucks, dude. And The Mandalorian has not had any bad reviews. I mean, they were just like some little things here and there. I know the main complaint is that the episodes are not long enough. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Because it's really good story, and it's a lot of great scenes, a lot of great editing. It's really fun.
Have you ever watched Memento? This one?
Mm-mm.
It's with Guy Pearce, Carrie-Ann Moss, Joe Pantoliano, and Mark Boone Jr. I didn't watch this one either. Fuck, man. That's another millennium. That's number 6, actually. Number 7, of course, I've watched this like fucking 10 times, dude. I've watched it.
Crystal's the one who made me watch that one, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Let's watch it. It's hilarious.
Frank, you're absolutely right. It is a must. Christopher Nolan, dude. The fucking films that Christopher Nolan has been known for, dude. I mean, back then, $25.54 million for a film like a mystery thriller like that is the equivalent of almost $100 million now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for a mystery thriller. And look at Wit. Memento was awesome.
But I always thought this was a comedy because.
Snatch was like it was fucking so crazy. It was really gypsy, dude, and I loved it. And
the only part that I always remember was the part where he says he's a getaway driver. He's like, what the fuck is he gonna get away from? Look at him. He's like, it's too tight. It's like you can fit a blooming 747 in that space. What are you talking about?
Okay, out of all the first couple of cast members here, who's your favorite one? I think mine was actually Jason Statham, dude.
Actually, I kind of like Benicio del Toro.
Really?
His demeanor in that movie was really fucking cool. You know, it was
Guy Ritchie, man, he fucking wrote it and directed it. God, dude. Yeah, Brad Pitt is fucking brilliant. I cannot understand anything he fucking said in that film, and that's the best part of his character, man. Tattoos will never be the same. Oh man, and of course, a personal favorite of mine that I still watch to this fucking day, and I don't know why it only grossed 1507.
I don't know why it's categorized as a comedy,
movie, dude.
I never really thought of it as a comedy.
How do you not find it fucking hilarious, dude?
What was funny? Like what?
It's a dark humor thing with I Mary Herron wrote it, but I didn't know much about her style of writing. But it's just like Frank said, it's dark comedy, and it's an acquired taste, dude. Like
okay. So
if it's jokes, like too soon jokes.
I do the one parts that I enjoyed that was kind of funny was when he's like, fucking the prostitutes, and he's looking at himself in the mirror, and he's like, yeah, at the camera and shit. It's like, yeah, yeah.
Dude. Look
That
at
was
Nadia,
cool.
even she agrees.
I mean,
American
Another-
Psycho, hilarious and well active. I love Christian Bale. He's the fucking man too. He's my third one. Denzel, Carrie, Christian Bale. He's number 3.
I mean, I enjoyed the movie. The movie was great. I totally loved it. You know, it's just I couldn't understand how it's a comedy, because I first found out that it was a comedy because the sequel to that movie
Okay,
with
well,
Mila
of the
Kunis, that
original,
was supposedly
yeah.
a comedy. I'm like, so it's supposed to be funny? And I never actually saw it because I didn't want to ruin the first movie, because
but
I
you saw the
really
first
loved the
movie.
I saw the first movie. That
Okay,
movie is
yeah.
awesome, dude.
Of
I
course,
went out.
it's a
I
cult
made it.
classic, bro.
That was a time where if a movie that you saw in the theater was awesome, you know you're gonna put that in your personal library. So that was one of the
Makes the
first
sequel a
DVDs I
joke.
bought. You know, you see,
Well, you know,
I didn't want to see it.
credit to Roger. He worked at a video store for almost 3 years, right?
No, less than that.
2 years, maybe.
Like about a year and a half.
The sequel was funny because it was a joke.
You see,
I
that's
didn't
the
even
thing is,
watch it, dude.
I didn't
did
watch
not
it.
watch
I didn't want to watch it. I was like, forget that. I'm just gonna keep the first one in my head, and that's that.
Oh, dude, do you remember Snow Day with Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
Oh, I've not watched it, dude. Out of all the Chevy Chase films, I have not watched fucking Snow Day, man. I know Chris Elliott's in it.
Yeah, Chris Elliott's in this one.
And nobody remembers Chris Elliott from Get a Life. All our 90s buddies, man.
When he tried to buy a Ferrari with a $5 bill,
Makes it hard pass.
he had the briefcase. He's like, yeah, and opens it up. It's a $5 bill inside the middle of the case.
Oh, God. This one for sure. Oh, man, I love this fucking film.
I've seen it.
Dude.
I just don't remember it.
It's so badass, dude. It's basically I forgot the kid's name, but the actor, I know who the actor is, but I'm talking about in the film. He's in high school and he's trying to be a fucking journalist, dude. Mm-hmm. And you know, he went on the road with this very famous kind of Led Zeppelin-ish type of band, and he was writing a story for a big magazine, Rolling Stone, and he accompanies them on the fucking tour, and it's rock and roll, dude. Band drama, people getting electrocuted, him sleeping with one of the fucking, I guess, the band groupies, or forgot what Kate Hudson's kind of role was in there. I think she was like the band girlfriend or some shit.
Okay.
And it's fucking awesome, dude.
Is it kind of like The Dirt?
Kind of, but The Dirt's more like Turn to 11, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just don't remember it.
Yes, Penny Lane. She was the Band-Aid. The Band-Aid. A Band-Aid. That's exactly what they refer to her as. And it's awesome, dude. It's great to revisit that one. Melina I have not watched. I know Giuseppe Tornatore.
So it's an Italian movie.
Back then, this was Monica Bellucci, like early millennium Monica Bellucci. And you know, she has some titties.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and it's like, it's one of those, it's kind of like, I never really watched most. I've watched it in pieces, but it's amidst the war climate, a teenage boy discovering himself becomes love-stricken by Melina. I think it's Melina, a sensual woman living in a small, narrow-minded Italian town. So, and it's fucking genius, I heard. I haven't even watched it. So, and of course, this I still watch to this fucking day only because
I just watched that last week.
Look, hold on. We know what parts you watched on Melina. I was like, yep. Doing the sex. So the thing about The Patriot for me, dude, that really stood out is his character, Benjamin Martin, was very like, he didn't favor a side like in politics.
Right.
Which is really interesting because I kind of identified with that character to this day. And yes, the great fucking Heath Ledger was in this. He was, I think, almost 18, 19.
Yeah, I guess he just turned 19. I think it was.
He's actually my number 4.
Oh, okay, number 4. All right.
Yeah, yeah, and only because 10 Things I Hate About You was my favorite role of his of all time. Believe it or not, that wasn't the Joker. It was his role in 10 Things I Hate About You.
I liked him in what was it? That Knight's Tale.
Oh yes,
I like that one.
Yes.
'Cause
I think I have that on VHS still somewhere.
even though it was kind of weird because they wanted to blend in like a medieval movie with modern rock and roll, or classic
Yes.
rock, and it kind of hit. It kind of worked. It worked.
Yeah.
I just like the story behind it. The story was really good. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Well, the Patriot story was fucking dark, man. It was like that was the fucking American Revolution story right there, and it just it spotlighted one of that, one of kind of like that part of a family, and he was a farmer, right?
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
But
I guess he was working
it's
on his
on the fucking
carpentry.
description. Genius. It's a peaceful farmer, Benjamin Martin, is driven to lead the colonial militia during the American Revolution. And then, yeah, the British officer, was it
Yeah,
Jolie Richardson, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that motherfucker just played it, dude.
yeah.
He owned that fucking role. And I'm
It
like,
was, it was just someone you love to hate in that movie. I was like,
I wanted to see
oh,
him get tortured, man.
yeah, yes, yeah.
I was
But you
like,
see, I have
that's when you know they're good,
I
man. It's
have
like,
respect for actors that play
oh
being
yeah.
bad so good because I honestly think playing the bad guy is like the funnest thing that you'll ever do because you get
And
to
it's probably the most difficult too, because you have to convince the viewer that you're going to hate me for the next 165 minutes of this film,
yeah,
or
yeah,
until I die, or who knows.
yeah. But I mean,
It was Jason Isaac. There you go.
okay. So
Yes.
yeah, I would think that when an actor gets a role of being the villain, I think that's something that I think maybe most actors like want that because they get to play something where it's not usually what they're used to, or
Yeah.
they get to touch the darker side of our humanity and bring it out because
Kind of like when Jim Carrey played the Cable Guy.
yeah, but that character was more of a
But
yeah, okay, he was
that
kind of
was a
psychotic,
role.
yeah.
No, but that was a role I didn't know him to even play. Same thing with Robin Williams in Insomnia.
Yeah. No,
That
Robin
was
Williams in
crazy.
Photo. I think that's what it was called, Photo.
Oh yeah, man, I
That
haven't
one was
watched
a
it.
good one.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched it. I haven't watched it.
Because um I think all of us, as humans, you
Yeah,
know, we want to we want to freaking rage on each other. Like we desire that urge to cause harm to someone, kind of like the Purge, like
it's
that movie
part
The
of our
Purge.
own sadistic interaction, and
It's
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 in our DNA because of the fight or flight response.
it's in our nature to try to hurt each other, to kill each other. And like that movie The Purge is a
Yeah,
good example, because it makes you feel better. It's a good way of relieving stress. It's a way of, doing something that you're not supposed to do. And that's why
yeah,
when someone plays the villain, I believe that they enjoy it more and they get more out of it because you're not supposed to be that kind of a person in real life,
no.
So I think that's why I have more respect for people who play villains because it's a good role to play.
And there's no villains in this one, and this one's a fucking classic, dude.
Actually, this one was more I think this was more of a psychological, you know, duel between himself and himself because
Fucking
his worst enemy was
Wilson.
himself. Yeah, it was a good movie.
I learned a lot about this fucking film because I'm like, if you want to take the island, you have to burn the ships, dude.
Hmm.
That's so crazy how that's a credo for a lot of fucking entrepreneurs. Because he had no way of getting out of there. And look, dude, he becomes he becomes this role, dude, in general was, I don't even know, man. It was fucking, for me, it was transformational because I'm like, okay, dude, like, okay, so he's my number 1, 2, 3. He's my number 5, actually, Tom Hanks.
Okay.
I don't know how many I've named, but I have very specific fucking actors that I'm like, okay, this guy could do it all. And I seen him play kind of a villain too in what's that mob movie that he was in? Very kind of
I know that one. I don't remember, but he was a hitman.
Yes, I
And
think
his
it
son
was
witnessed the murder. His son witnessed him
correct.
killing someone. Yeah,
That was fucking gangster. I forgot
he
what it
wasn't
was
really
called. Frank might know the film too, but yeah, it was a FedEx product placement.
I think he was more of a Road to Perdition. Yeah,
Yes, Road to Perdition is a gangster fucking movie, man.
That was a good
I've
movie.
never seen a role like that with him in it, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, this guy could do it.
Because in the end, the bad guy ended up being the photographer.
Yes, that's fucking crazy, man.
Oh shit! I spoiled it for people. Fuck. Sorry. Have nobody seen it yet?
Paul Newman, yes. Fuck. All right, of course, dude. Okay, I have a lot of mixed reactions from the first X-Men. So
we went to go see it together. Remember?
Yeah, I know, but wasn't he part of the Epstein shit? I don't know. That's not 100% confirmed, but I know a lot of people either flew to the island and didn't participate, but they just unfortunately got on the flight logs. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, Jude Law was in that fucking movie, Road to Perdition.
Yeah.
Yes. So X-Men, we went and watched it. We went to AMC in Montebello, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting to see, like, okay, am I gonna? Of course, my favorite X-Men is Wolverine because I identify with the guy.
Yeah, he's mine too.
And I'm like, okay. At first, I didn't fall in love with that version of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It wasn't until the second one came out that I was like, whoa, okay, this is the dude. Yes. Yeah. All right. Merry Christmas to you as well. And I will see you soon. But I like my favorite character, actually, aside from Hugh Jackman's, was Patrick Stewart, because then, you know, he becomes Professor X, and that's kind of like the whole essence of the film is him, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And how you get, like, he's been trying to help out these young people, or people who are it's kind of like not even a special learning disorder that they're born with. Of course, it's a mutation, but I get the message behind it. Like, just because you have this doesn't mean that you're worthless. Like, you have something special. You have a gift. But is it better than the second one? No. They killed it with the second one, man. X-Men 2 is my personal favorite, man.
That's the one with Nightcrawler, right?
Kurt Wagner, the Incredible Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I always thought that when I could have sworn when I first saw the trailer, and then when I started watching, like, you know, when I would go to the grocery store, you know, and you checking out and you'd see like People Magazine or Rolling Stone or shit like that, those magazine racks on there, they had, you know, on the cover the X-Men, and I thought it was Triple H who was playing Sabretooth. And I'm like, wow, that's gonna be awesome. I always thought it was him. It turned out it was some other professional wrestler that I guess was not in WWE at the time or something. I don't know. I just don't remember. But the one thing that I didn't like, I don't know, it was some wrestler who played Sabretooth.
Oh, it was Big Sky.
Okay.
Big Sky used to be a WCW pro wrestler who I think at one point teamed up with, you remember Sid Vicious?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. So he was pretty fucking tall. And just so happens that same actor is the one that played Michael Myers' character in the Rob Zombie versions.
Really?
Yeah, that's the same dude. Yeah,
He's a big dude.
yeah, he's 6'10", or kind of like, I think he's the same height as Undertaker, actually.
Fuck.
Yeah, so but that one was okay. Did you remember this one? Okay, this is my man right here. Fucking Denzel. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember this movie. This movie is a really good movie. I mean, it was based off of a true story.
Yeah. And it's so like racy, man, and I get the message. And
well, it dealt with a lot of those subjects.
this history, dude. Yeah. Only because, well, one, I mean, we used to fucking force feed this film to Anthony's generation here at Sure High School. Because remember, this came out after I graduated. I'm class of '99, and these young bucks are coming in playing football, and even the concert band and everyone else, they were all on the same page, because we had this thing where we had to kind of be in unison with each other, same page, same style. Like it's an environment. Like you were in band too.
Yeah.
Like you have to be at one with not only your unit, but also who you're actually playing for. Because dude, I'll tell you this, man, the years I played, even in my short stint in fucking college, dude, there was no band, there was no energy, man. No fucking energy. And I looked forward to the band, dude. Seriously, it was like, fuck, man. We went to AMC before the Alhambra game to watch you assholes, and then you guys probably stocked up on soda and vomited on the sidelines. Yeah, let me get a large Pepsi. And then, okay, so do you remember watching this together?
We did?
Yes, you got freaked the fuck out during the scene, spoiler alert, when the horse gets fucking sliced by the fucking glass. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
This to me is, aside from her role in Selena, this to me is probably her best performance ever.
Wasn't this something like all in her mind? Like,
remember, she got to go inside the mind of, that says right there, a comatose serial killer, and learn where he has hidden the latest kidnap victim.
I gotta rewatch it because I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's such a good film. It's such,
maybe because of what you just said. The horse.
Vince Vaughn is in it, and he's damn good in it too, man. It's like, fuck, it's really, really good. And of course, the party one, man. This was, fuck, man. It was fucking great. Like, Robbie, come on. The movie was dumb though. No, it wasn't. It was good. Yes, cinematically, yes, it was good. But yeah, look, Nadia, the cell was super awesome. Great season costume. It was just beautiful to watch. Of course, the story isn't like the most significant, but like, you're going into the mind of a comatose fucking serial killer who has one victim missing. How else are you going to find out? They have to wake up from it, or they won't wake up at all.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a plot that you would see in Black Mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was ahead of its game.
Yeah, but Road Trip for sure. That kind of like, that was the whole kind of college buddy fucking, you know. It was pretty funny, dude. I don't think I watched it with you though, but
yeah,
I never got to watch Aaron Brockovich, dude.
I think I did, but
and it's based on a true story. I never got to watch it. And she Julia Roberts, fucking, of course, dude, she is fucking amazing. She killed it in this film. I never got to watch Dungeons and Dragons either.
I have Marlon Wayans.
He's in it, huh?
Yep.
Okay, this one for sure we watched, and to this day, this fucking film has traumatized the fuck out of me. Every time I see an 18-wheeler with a truck bed and a bunch of shit on top of it.
That was part 2.
Well, I mean, this franchise just completely fucking made almost this whole generation paranoid
Yeah,
of
dude.
shit that can go
I make
wrong.
sure I make sure that the floor in my bathroom is always like
Oh my God,
dry,
don't
or I have
even
towels
start it,
on there.
bro. Or what's the other one? The is it the stove? I don't know how many fucking different types of kills, dude, they had in the film,
there's
dude.
so many
Well, the
ways.
airplane alone is the one that freaked me out the most.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, Final Destination, that movie was crazy. Fucking Candyman.
Tony Todd. Yeah, that guy was amazing. That's a good actor there too.
Yeah, he's a damn good actor.
Tony Todd was really good.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? Remember this with George
Funny
Clooney?
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a funny
I
movie.
liked it a lot. They were convicts, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Billy Elliot. I never got to see this one. Never got to see Billy Elliot. And of course,
That's it.
me, myself, and Irene. This is fucking outrageous, dude. He has dissociative identity disorder, and he must protect a woman on the run from a corrupt ex-boyfriend with his associates. And that's Renelle Zellweger, dude. Oh God,
that was a funny movie.
Emperor's New Groove, of course. I seen the I guess the newer version on Netflix, but it's not relevant to him. It's called Pachamama.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's based on I guess they're Incas, right?
Yeah. I
think they're Incas, yeah. But Emperor's New Groove was pretty dope, and I love David Spade in it. And John Goodman, of course. They were pretty badass. Okay, The Beach was fucking trippy. Did you ever watch this one?
No.
Okay, I won't spoil this for you. And of course, Scary Movie. And the list goes on, man. The Unbreakable, which
that was pretty cool.
Man. Bring It On, which is my personal favorite.
What?
Okay, dude.
Okay, you're joking.
Listen, in
it's
2000,
a joke. I get it.
No, it's not. It's not a joke. In 2000, I was 19 years old, and all these hot girls were in this movie doing the cheerleading thing.
Right.
One girl, I was like, wow, and that was Elijah Dushku.
I was desensitized because you weren't in a band that had a drill team of 80 plus girls.
Yeah.
So I got to see a lot of high kicks. That was fun.
Next Friday. In the Mood for Love. Coyote Ugly was pretty badass. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
There's a
Best
lot.
in Show. I haven't seen
How many movies are there? Oh, Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. High Fidelity. Yes. Fucking amazing movie.
Battle Royale was the inspiration for Hunger Games.
And then my greatest uncategorized actor of all time, Nicolas Cage in Gone in 60 Seconds. Traffic was fucking tragic, man. I hate that movie. The Sixth Day.
There's someone in my house with my birthday cake.
Was it my family? Is it my birthday cake?
My birthday cake. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie's Angel. This one was actually pretty good. MI2, awesome. The Replacements, that was funny.
Yeah, that was cool.
Meet the Parents, of course, dude. That was in 2000. Holy shit.
Wow.
I mean, the list goes on. We can talk about the shit fucking forever, but that's just fuck, man. That was a hell of a year for fucking movies, man. Hell of a fucking year for movies. Yep. But nonetheless, I think okay, so that year, I remember I got my first job working at Staples, the office superstore in Commerce, or for Bandini and Garfield.
Yeah.
And did you start working already at the video store?
Yeah, I was at Video Express.
Yeah, I remember it because we both applied and you got the job and I didn't.
Yeah, because I live closer.
Oh, he live 2 blocks away? Oh, you live just right across the street?
I
I'm
used
gonna
to live
hire
in both.
you.
Yep. Yep.
Oh
That
my
was
God,
fun.
Nick Cage, did you ever watch Vampire's Kiss? That movie was so Yes, I remember. I remember that movie, dude. Meet the Fockers. Oh my God. Pamela Martha Fokker. But yeah, I think that, talking about early millennium shit, like we went through that year with the Y2K scare.
Yeah.
We started working. You wanted to join the Marine Corps, and so did I. I got disqualified, so did I. So we had to keep pursuing just working. And
That was
then
a
it
glitch
wasn't
right there,
until,
right?
I don't know, man.
No, I'm just saying. You just said I got disqualified, and so did I. You glitched out right
Did
there.
I say that? Did
Yes,
I?
you did. Yes, you did.
And I remember I joined a band.
Mhm. This was
And then
after you gave up on football.
yeah, I just got tired of getting beat up, dude. Plus I wasn't able to afford fucking school anymore. It was so expensive. And then you kept working there.
Wasn't that the year you also got kicked out of your house?
No, that was 2004. Still early millennium, but then in 2001, that's when I got my job at the fucking at the mall. My first job. It was at Walden Books.
I think that was the time I also got a job at the mall, software, etc.
Was
Yeah,
that same year?
yeah. Because I
Yeah, that's
remember,
right.
I felt bad because I quit the video store, and the owner was not happy at all because he was expecting me to work there for at least 2 years. I'm like,
Mm,
you're not paying me enough, and it was a very chill job. I
of
enjoyed it
course.
because all you did was you were just a fucking clerk, take money, give
Yeah.
them tape, you know, give back, and then whenever it got really slow, I would go and grab a quarter from the register and pop it in a video game and just play, or pop on a movie and order a pizza and just sit back and watch movies and order pizzas and shit. It's crazy. Yeah.
And you would order right there from across the street, right?
No, no. It was like
I'm trying to revisit how that corner used to look back then.
it was
And Yum Yum's
Yum
always
Yum
been there.
Donuts. Yeah, Yum Yum
Um,
Donuts.
what
The
was
check cashing place. It was
check
a check cash,
cashing,
and then there was the
um,
video store
video
because
store, and then
the video store took up a huge amount of real estate, and then there was a
that's
liquor store
right.
right
Yes.
on the corner. Yeah, and then when he closed it down, I remember when he closed it down, and Metro PCS put itself up there.
Oh my God.
I walked inside there just to see what it's like, and I remember and I looked and I pointed to the owner of the clerk behind the counter. I said, in that section back there, that's where all the porno used to be. Like it's a big it was he remodeled the store. I remember he remodeled the video store. Like it changed a bit. Before it used to be like video store, like all movies and stuff, and a very small section for the adults.
Oh wow.
Then he realized that in our neighborhood, there's a lot of fucking, pervs and shit, love porn. So video store went from like this big to half. I want to say like half, and then the other
Yeah,
half of the store was like porno, like all porno.
I remember
Like,
because it was just a little curtain.
then it became those little doors that like
Yes,
when you
yeah,
walk into a
they call
saloon,
them the saloon
the saloon
doors.
doors, and I used to chase kids out of there with his golf clubs. They would go in there and sneak in, and I would grab his golf club, his putter. He had a putter in the back, and I'm
Oh
like, "Get the fuck!"
wow.
I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! You could get me in trouble, you pieces of shit!" I would
No
chase him out.
porno for you.
Yeah, and
No
that was
porno
when
for you.
they stole all the flyers because he would get like flyers. It was whenever we get a shipment of movies, they're like these big, big brown boxes. It was like Christmas, dude. You get all these new movies, and then there was like this one small like medium-sized box, and in that box
Yeah.
was the studio copies of upcoming movies. And this is one though I remember I saw, and this was a Nick Cage movie, and I know you'll know this one. I remember I saw Bringing Out the Dead 6 months
Wow.
6 months before it was going to hit the video store, and
No shit.
it was just barely opening up in the theaters. And I'm like, whoa! I'm like, didn't this just open? And like, and I see on the box it says studio copy.
Yeah.
So they send these copies over, like how they would send movies for Oscar nominations and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They send them out. The studios would send them out, and you would watch it. And if you like it, you order your copies. You pre-order
No
how many you
shit.
want. And when you're watching it, there's this 800 number that scrolls by on the bottom. It says it would say this: if you've rented this movie or bought this movie in anywhere, please call this number on the screen and tell us where you got it from, because you're not supposed to have it.
Because it's not for resale.
Right? It's not for retail. It's just for people who own stores and shit like that. And if it's a good,
Oh,
and if
that's
it's something
right.
that you
Yeah.
like, you get to buy it. Okay, yeah, I want to order I want to order 30, and then the studios would send them to you. So that was like when he would get like these little preview boxes, and half of that box was porno, dude. Like,
Wow.
I still remember some of the names. There was Dirty Debutantes. There was this one called Pleasure
Okay,
Peaks.
so do you remember the discovery I made on Dirty Debutantes?
Yeah, dude.
It was a girl that I went to high school with.
Yeah, she like these flyers. All these flyers came out,
Yeah.
and
Good night, Nadia. See you next time. Merry Christmas.
And I showed you the flyers, and you're like, dude, I know her. Like, she went to school with me. She had her, like, she was in your class or something. So.
She was in my class, and she dated one of the guys that I graduated with. She graduated with me too. Mm-hmm. But I heard that back then they were paying top dollar for college students that were basically working their way through tuition. And that they would probably take care of one semester with one payment just to make a scene, something like that, or at least half of your tuition, which a lot of people are like, fuck it. So early millennium was big with, small time actors and actresses with big time fucking labels. And you're like, okay, well, can I fuck you on camera? Here's 10 grand.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Or
well,
like
back then it was like
a nude
5,000.
scene, or a topless scene, things like that.
Things that now what is called fucking OnlyFans would do. And it's crazy now that shit's long gone. That peak, just like music, and that happened. That train sailed a long time ago. So back when you can be somewhat anonymous, pretty much, yeah. Because there was really no paper trail of who you were on the internet.
Yeah.
And you can easily say, no, it was just someone that looked like me.
Yeah. I mean, what was what was that girl's name on Baywatch from the first season?
Nicole Eggert?
No. She was in first season.
Yasmin Bleeth?
No, she wasn't first season. What was her name? She came out on that Steven Seagal movie, Under Siege.
Under Siege.
And that was her first topless scene. And she actually did Playboy afterwards. And then
was it her or no?
Was she on Baywatch after she did Playboy, or did she do Playboy after Baywatch?
No. Oh shit. No. Oh no. You're right. It's Erica Eleniak.
Erica Eleniak. That's her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. I remember that scene. That Under Siege scene. That was a cool one, and she was on Baywatch.
I remember that. I remember Showgirl.
I saw her on Baywatch. I was like, oh, yeah. That movie. Yeah.
I remember Striptease with fucking Demi Moore.
Yeah.
I remember fucking Wild Things with Nev Campbell and Denise Richards.
Yeah. Denise Richards, Starship Troopers.
Oh my god, that fucking movie's to this day is brutal as fuck, man. I watch it, I'm like, God, this aged pretty good because it's
It still looks good.
And conceptually, it's
Because
fucking genius, man. It's
they didn't
brutal.
like what I liked about this is what I liked about Paul Verhoeven films is he did a lot of practical special effects first,
Yeah.
then went to CG or things that like RoboCop. There wasn't that much CG on that one, and
There was very little, but for what
Total
he used,
Recall,
it was
yeah,
perfect.
Total Recall. Okay, yeah, the fucking planet that looks bad now, but everything else was fucking cool.
Yeah,
Shit.
totally.
I'm so good. I'm just you know I wish more movies could go back to practical special effects. Because there's ways of making it look more realistic now.
It's
And
just the CGI market is completely saturated now, so that's
Mhm.
kind of what it is now.
Yeah.
But what can we do? I mean, technology can only slow down so much, and the only time it slows down is to either reshoot something like Sonic the Hedgehog, for example.
Well, yeah,
Not
because
reshoot,
everybody
but they had to
hated the way
redo
he
everything.
looked.
Mhm. Or
That,
there's some type of glitch in the
but
technology.
that's a good subject where it comes to saying that social media today, we as fans can voice our opinions, and the studio listened. That's what was so great
Yeah.
about it. The director, everybody, they listened and they said,
And
"Okay, you know what?
I bought the fucking digital copy because it was that good.
Yeah, because they made him look like how he was supposed to look like,
Yeah, it didn't make him look like an actual like a chupacabra, bro. That's
Yeah,
what it looked like.
yeah. He didn't look like he looked realistic, but he still had his cartoonish thing.
I'm not gonna hear the end of this, dude.
You should watch it, dude. Just watch it.
All right, I'm watching episode 1.
Yeah, and you're gonna get hooked, and you're not gonna
Oh
be able to
well.
go to sleep.
Oh
Just
well.
watch it.
Okay.
Watch it. You'll like it. Yeah.
But well, I mean, if nonetheless, I mean, this we covered quite a few things here in the podcast, and the one thing I kind of wanted to end with here is how a lot of today's youth that I talk to were curious about, of course, the high school days. Where I'm like, yeah, there was a lot of kinks to work out in high school.
Mm.
But I'm like, no, my adult transition was a little bit different. I can tell you more of that. And that's when I went into, they kept asking me about a lot of the drug use, of course, like all the substances that were around back then. Of course, the music.
When you
And of
almost
course,
died from Vicodin, I remember
I didn't
that.
almost died.
Yeah, you
No,
did. Yeah, you did. You
no.
stopped breathing. You stopped breathing. You just don't remember. Just like you keep saying that I jumped into a limousine because I was super drunk. That never happened.
You jumped into a limo,
No, it never
and
happened.
to
Hey,
this day,
I don't remember it. It never
I
happened.
have other people that went along with the prank.
Well, we have other people that say that you
Wow,
stopped breathing.
no. Well,
Yeah.
that was the whole prank. That
Uh-huh.
was the whole prank because you were on beer 7, and that's when you spilled on the carpet.
Oh, I remember that because of the freaking video.
early, early millennium shit.
I was
This
like, that never happened. But your little brother Justin had the fucking camcorder. Like, yeah, look at
which we have not even surfaced any of that footage, which is a crying shame because a lot of that shit is fucking just
yeah,
timeless.
a
But
lot
but
happened, dude. I almost
but
killed us on the freeway. I remember that.
yes, and that's the thing they asked me too. Is like, how did we document stuff back then? I'm like, well, we had camcorders.
Yeah, or the cell phone cameras,
Yeah,
cheapy ones.
I showed them a picture of you and I with your Sanyo. Was it 5300?
I remember it was the first
Back
camera phone I've
when
ever.
we first started working at Radio Shack at
Yeah,
Montebello, and I'm like, hey, this is what the
it.
pictures used to look like.
I ordered it because we didn't have it. It came from the flagship store in New York,
Wow.
and they brought because they were the first store to get it. I'm like, I want it, and I ordered it, and
Wow.
it was the very first camera phone to hit.
And I remember also I was telling these youngsters about this, that back then Sprint had a website where you can send anonymous text messages to people. from a browser.
Yeah.
And you assholes would send me some of the fucking most vulgar shit. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. He goes, you forgot to pay for the hooker that came over your house last night. He goes, please send a check or money order to this address. Sincerely, your daddy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Sorry.
Is that one of those live streams where there's something behind you and then...
Es el cucuy. I'm keeping an eye out of the cucuy. I don't want to get scared.
But nonetheless, I wanted to end with this. Roger and we did a very good job of not only embracing and adapting to the quickly and ever so changing technology, but at the same time, we didn't stop learning about all the stuff that we knew were like, oh shit, this is where it's going. Okay, so
and it's still changing. It's still getting different. It's still becoming more and more. And I'm gonna hold you to that promise I made you keep. Like I made you make. Do you remember? I said when we were working at Radio Shack, we would get senior citizens that came in and would come in.
Oh,
and
yes.
they would not know like what this new stuff is. I told you, dude, promise me if I'm at that age and I don't even know what the fuck is like the latest cell phone or like the latest technology, just shoot me, okay? Because I don't
put me out of my misery.
Yeah. So because I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be on my deathbed with like the latest fucking
you're like, I'm gonna live stream my death.
Implant of
and
like
all you are gonna witness it in virtual reality. Virtual reality. You mean virtual reality? Virtual reality. I'm dying, motherfucker.
Yeah,
totally. And
I don't want to fall behind.
I never, even now, like, I know I don't know computer language. You know, you took a crack at it. And it's hard.
I tried. It's fucking hard, dude. I kept getting headaches.
And props to people who know it, like, you know, some of the personal people I know. And
it is a whole other language. It definitely is a whole other language.
Doesn't mean, okay, just because I don't know where the ingredients come from and how they're made, doesn't mean I can't learn how to cook them.
Yep.
That's basically what I'm saying. It's like, I don't have to be the master chef, but give me the ingredients and just tell me what to do with them, even though I don't know what the fuck they are, where they come from. But if you say that, okay, just trust that this works, this is where it comes from, it's healthy, you know, have at it, make your own recipes. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what it is too. It's like nobody really wants to know about the process of baking the cake. It's just that they want to know it's good and eat it.
And that's a problem there. And that's problem.
I know that is. And then there's people like us. We're like, okay, well, what's in this cake? Let's investigate it. Yeah.
Question that's how I have to like. I think that's, I guess what we spoke about in another cast is what a genius's mind is like.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm not calling myself a genius. I'm just saying that that's something I like to do. Is I like to question things a lot. Like, how does this work? Okay, so how does it do that? Why is it doing that? You know, things like that. You know, I've lost friends because of that mindset.
Being a genius is not so much. If you ask me, a true genius like an Elon Musk, a Jeff Bezos, for them, it's kind of like I'm not going to call it a curse. It's an impulse that they're born with and they can't get rid of.
But it all starts with how.
Yeah.
It all starts with the question of why, how, and
what.
What can I do? You know. So that's what I'm saying is like I've lost friends because of that shit, because, you know, people have their certain beliefs and I'm like, okay, so why? Like, why? Explain to me why this is like that, you know?
Yeah.
I remember I would try to explain things and people would get mad at me. I remember I did that one time at a Bible study. Fuck. Did those people hate me afterwards because I started questioning shit, and then they're like, "Yeah, we don't want you back tomorrow." Like, we don't want you back for the next session.
And
like,
that's the thing with us, especially you and I, and you know, a lot of people can attest to this too. we live by this kind of like internal credo where you just don't comply just to
Mhm.
comply.
Mhm.
Don't go with it just because okay, you don't want to say anything. You know, our generation was taught to be skeptical, ask questions. Our generation grew up with a lot of shit happening in society, which quite frankly made us say, okay, no, that wasn't right. I don't think he's innocent. Why did they fucking mass shoot a bunch of kids and what happened? And then blame video games. And I'm like, okay,
But
so what video games have the world's been playing for the past 300 years, like that kind of shit. Like,
but but it's because we didn't have that access to
yeah,
what we have to now. The entire like knowledge of humanity is in our shit. Like we
but
look it up and it's
that's
that.
also dangerous
It is.
because there's mass disinformation. And you
Mhm.
know, luckily for our generation, we got to read books, a lot of books. But then again, we were young enough to embrace the internet when it debuted. And that's what we're like a true hybrid of a generation. I mean, I'm not dissing on Generation X or the millennials, because there's some millennials that did grow up, you know, with no technology around the house till later. And my thing is, in my opinion, I agree with some of the stuff that's been said on a lot of internet articles. We're considered xennials.
Mhm.
We're a breed of Generation X and millennial, but we're like in between
Yeah. Yeah.
because we're the perfect blend of analog, you know, going
And
outside, riding
digital.
your bike, scraping your knee, fucking
Yep.
putting dirt on it, and
Yep.
then going and watching Power Rangers and shit, and then going on, you know, AOL Instant Messenger, or what's the other one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yahoo Chat,
Yep. Netscape.
and then the party line.
The party.
That's like, dude, we basically covered everything except for maybe the music technology, which that came later.
Yeah, because it
Uh,
changed. It changed
yeah, I remember getting a
completely.
$400 fucking CD recorder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. And I didn't think it was going to take that long to make compilations until I discovered your computer. It made them a lot faster, and they weren't in real time. They were MP3s. Remember that?
Yeah, dude. I built my first computer with the
Yeah.
help of Daniel, dude. We went to the computer fair in Pomona. I built
Oh,
my
that's
computer.
right. Yeah.
I built my first computer for like 80 or $90.
And it was
It
pretty
was
top notch
cool. It
back
was
then.
cool.
And
It did its thing. It had a CD burner on there, and
you used to
it was
use
making
Audio
shit.
Galaxy to download MP3,
Yeah, because
and
Napster was
then
taken down.
yeah, and I think I don't think he ever got to use LimeWire because LimeWire
No,
will give you computer aids.
no.
Um, but no, that's the shit that I've been sharing. It's like, dude, for this generation now, I'm like, let me tell you about our technology struggles, and even before that, when it wasn't around. But for some reason, they like hearing the newer stuff, the new technology struggles. Like, I asked them if they know how to load a CD and play it, and a lot of them don't. And I'm like, oof. I'm like, I hate to see you load up a vinyl, on a
Yeah,
turntable. It's like, fuck. Even me, like, I still have that trauma from the '80s. Like, don't scratch my fucking my disco. And I had to literally had to
yeah. You have to
drop
like be
the
very
needle
careful.
carefully,
Yeah,
but the 8 track, you just shove it in and fucking play it.
yeah, yeah.
And then there was always I always tell the youngsters about the struggles of cassette tapes where we had to
With
use
the
a pencil to unwind
pencil,
it.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
but now and then came CDs where you couldn't move to
Yeah,
skip.
you had to hold it still, like, oh,
Yes,
no, don't
yeah.
skip it. You would hear it go. It would skip. No, you're gonna burn it.
And then
Don't look at
not
the
having
laser.
enough room in your MP3 player
Yeah.
Remember that little tiny one you had that had a bunch of music, but you only had like 14 songs.
The compact flash card. Remember those big freaking it was only like 8 megabytes or something like that.
Less than that, probably. Look, I have a phone holder in the CD slot. Get it? They just
Yep.
or the cassette slot. But
Or the cassette with the little cable on it. You put it in your tape deck,
and it always
hook your
got it always wore out, and the left speaker only worked, and you had to like fucking hold it. You just hold it, dick.
This generation will never ever know what a head cleaner is.
No.
Ask them what a head cleaner is, and
demagnetizer. That Ben.
What banana?
But nonetheless, dude, I want to end with this to tell, because I'm going to post this clip on Instagram so everyone sees it, because that's their website. It's not Facebook or YouTube. YouTube, of course, they go in there to view their chingaderas, but
or to give themselves a sleepless night.
Exactly. Have a good night, Anthony. I love you, man. Have Merry Christmas. But I want to say this, that whenever you have doubts, whenever you have questions, whenever you have, especially right now during this pandemic, because I remember something similar to this was we grew up with earthquakes, really big earthquakes, and we couldn't go to school, we couldn't go anywhere. We were basically in our own little lockdown, so we knew what it was like, only with the fear of a fucking earthquake striking again. What we had was each other, and right now you can't really face to face. Like me and Roger, this is what we're doing. It's easy, and I encourage you to do this. It's easy to Snapchat video chat. It's easy to Snapchat video call. It's easy to FaceTime, Google Meets. You guys are doing it now. If you are just living in a text bubble right now with your friends and family, it's the worst interpretation. It's the worst form of communication, first and foremost. And there's no kinesthetic about it. There's no energy being transferred, even digitally. So that's why me and Roger go on the podcast. That's what we reminisce. We even talk offline. I don't think I've missed. I mean, the longest I've gone without talking to Roger was when he was in Yucatan for like almost a month.
Yeah, dude, that was
and I was mad because I wanted to go.
That was 20. That was more than what, 13, 14 years ago? 18 years ago, yeah.
18 years ago, and I'm like,
remember,
dude.
I had that was when I had the first camera phone, and I got a picture with Hulk Hogan in the airport that day. Yeah, I remember that. Brother. I remember that. Fuck.
And the night before, you had
a long time ago.
We got you too high the night before, and you survived. But
I know
it was your first time, but you took it like a champ, and you're not debilitated from it.
It wasn't really my first time. It was my first bad trip.
It was our fault because we thought you were.
It was my fault.
Back in the potency of what we had, it was
you guys
kind of like what they have now.
You guys had your laughs and shit. I remember that. Don't worry. Yeah,
but regardless, it's like that's the kind of shit that we reminisce about, and that's why I'm encouraging a lot of these youngsters to create memories, even in a virtual setting, because it's very simple. All you got to do is talk.
Yeah.
And then share different stories. Look at crazy. I encourage them to look at crazy shit on the internet that's going to spark their interest. Like read about, like, I don't know, Operation Paperclip. Read about Operation Northwoods, MK Ultra. Like stuff that's actually legitimately declassified. And then, of course, read about the cosmos, the solar system. Read about what a black hole is, like that type of shit. Like the curiosity, Roger, has not been sparking with them.
Read history. You have to just. I personally, at first, when I was in school, I was like, dude, history sucks. It's so fucking boring. But once out of school, I just like, I want to see what's going on. Like, what happened? What is this? I would read it on my own, and there was so much omitted from us in
Yeah.
class, and I was like, shit, read about your past so you can understand your future. Because
Correct.
if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're gonna go. Yeah, so and you're
Especially,
due
and
to repeat a
I
lot of
encourage,
bad shit.
especially like when it comes to, we get a lot of Chicanos that are born here. Mom was born here. Grandpa and grandpa were born here.
Mhm.
Their great grandparents were born here, but
Yeah.
their great great grandparents were, they migrated from Mexico, Central America, or whatever.
Mhm.
That's how far you have to go back, and that's not hard. And I'm not saying to be ashamed that you don't know the culture. I'm just saying just acknowledge it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously you speak the native language of this country, which now is so solemnly English, even though English was not our original language to begin with.
Well, technically, there is
Uh,
no official language, but
Not
for this
really. I
country,
mean,
but
it was kind of like that's what I mean. That's kind of what the staple is. I mean, you have to
yeah.
speak English in this country to kind of even run a business, so to speak.
Well, now
But
you have to speak Spanish.
exactly, and then there's that because that's the history you can dive into. How
Mhm.
California, Arizona, and even Texas was once was was
Mexican
all
territory.
Mexican territory, and just know it. You're not going to change the past. Just acknowledge it and know what it is and what happened, and even that question what you read.
Mhm.
Who knows what source you got it from, and dig deeper. And I always encourage them to read both sides of an argument. Don't just, and that's how you form your opinion. That's how I form my opinions because I agree with some stuff that, for example, that the Democrats talk about. I agree with some stuff that the Republicans talk about.
Mhm.
But in the end, I'm like, oh, well, both of you motherfuckers can't get along.
Yeah. Why?
So
That's like,
why do I need to choose a side? Like you guys are just fucking egging at each other. And then you hear arguments, well, it's the Democrats' fault because of this. And then you hear the other side, oh, it's the Republicans' fault because of this.
Mhm.
And then I tell them, well, that makes me not want to choose a team and makes me want to be what I'm labeled as a political orphan, a quote unquote centrist, but with, I guess they call it democratic perspectives, not beliefs, because, my beliefs are different. They're way different than both of these people
Mhm.
that, but I will question it every single time, only especially when I know um, something is being hijacked, like for example, like the concept of democracy, right?
Yeah.
That I will begin to question that, and I encourage that with this generation because we're gonna need this young generation. We're gonna need you to step up, man. Because me and Roger are not getting any younger, and we're not going to be able to, I mean, we qualify to run for office. Obviously, we
Yeah,
qualify
of
for
course.
run the city council. We're old enough to do all that. I mean, we're actually considered pretty young to run for those positions, but it's pointless if we're not even preaching to a choir that exists.
Yeah, I think that should change, though. That perspective should change. I mean, we need young blood in that office because they know, like, if someone our age, we've seen that a lot of the shit that's happening is because of mistakes that we've made, yeah,
Yeah,
and we can easily correct them. My biggest, my biggest pet peeve is a goddamn climate change, dude. It's some people still say it's not happening, but there's so many little things that we as people can
yeah,
do to reverse that shit,
yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, if it was me in office, I'd be like, yeah, I would address the climate change thing real quick, you know.
It
But
doesn't take
but
a
that's
long.
that's a
It
whole
doesn't
nother tangent.
it doesn't take long to research that and even see some of the documented files and footage of a lot of the polar ice caps that quite frankly are going to be non-existent in the
It's
next
not that. I
hopefully
mean, it's not just
it's
that. It's
extended
just
for that. But
I just hope that a lot of your listeners right now out there that are our generation, our age, especially us, especially people who live here in Southern California,
yeah,
like, don't you remember when you were a kid that during this time of year, which is December, we would be having some rain. Like we would get rain throughout the months of November and December. And I
Yeah,
still
I
remember, I
remember
still remember
rain on
being a kid.
Halloween.
Yeah, I still remember being a kid, getting out of the shower and the house is all cold because of the weather, and I would run and jump into my bed. It's all nice and cozy. Now it's like, dude, it still feels fucking warm. Like, what the
We're
fuck?
getting 1 day of rain, and that's on Sunday night and all of Monday. That's it. And the
Yeah,
rest, we're gonna have a warm Christmas, obviously.
yeah. It,
Considered
that
warm for this December.
I mean, I hope I'm not the only one that's noticing this shit or has noticed it, because it's
I've
like,
been
God,
noticing it.
I miss those time. I mean, I would always look forward to this time of year. September, autumn. Those were my favorite times of the year because the weather would cool down. 'Cause I
Yeah,
hate
and that's the truth.
I
What
hate the hot
Robbie's saying,
weather.
that there's zero harm in making more clean and efficient forms of power. It's absolutely true. But
That's
you
true.
know who steps up and claims and starts fucking balking on this shit is the oil companies, obviously the petroleum industry.
Yeah, those guys.
And
Yeah.
again, they don't, no one's getting along. That's the problem that I have. And of course, I'll leave it with this. Just be sure you read a lot of stuff, read both sides of the argument, but in the same token is form your own opinion, but even question your own opinion as well.
Mhm.
But people think that's insanity, like, oh, you have to question yourself. No, I do it all the fucking time. And
What
it's normal
the best
to do
way,
that.
the best way for you to develop your mind into opening up more doors for yourself is look at one problem that you have and try to find multiple solutions for that problem, not just one. There isn't always going to be a correct answer for something. You can find, well, let me change that. There isn't one right answer. Just find different ways to get to that one answer. Because there isn't one correct path. There's multiple ways that you can do this. This will make you question everything. This will
Yeah,
make you get out of your box, out of your comfort zone, and say, well, how can I make this do this by doing that? Don't be afraid. Just ask questions, pick the brain of your elders, and you'll be fine.
totally.
That's what I can say.
And also, if you were to pick something that you truly believe is an absolute, like it's 100% true, you've been knowing that this particular thing or belief or story, whatever, is true, try to prove yourself wrong in approximately 3 days and see how far you get.
Hmm.
And you might not even prove yourself wrong, but what you do is you start engaging your critical thinking muscles, which a lot of people now are not, they're not doing. And try it and let's see where it goes. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Roger, for being on.
Yay.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa,
Yeah,
Happy Hanukkah,
yeah, I got
whatever.
your Christmas card. Yeah, yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, I got it. My mom was gonna throw it away because she didn't recognize the people on the
Oh
picture.
no,
I'm like, what are you doing?
no.
That's his
But
family.
nonetheless, I know we're in the middle of a pandemic. If you do gather, because people are going to gather, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Be sure you take the proper precautions. If you can sit up outside, do so. Mask up. It's very simple. One tip I do have is be sure, if you know someone has been exposed before is negative now, make sure they don't serve you your food. Get it
Yeah.
yourself. Um, Try to use your own utensils or disposable utensils,
Disposable.
whatever.
Use disposable and paper plates.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, the people that you feel have not been exposed, let them eat first. Not saying it's a guarantee, but be smart. Like, again, critical thinking, try to engage it. And then the most important thing is just the physical distancing part is crucial because it's obvious that that's what's been
You know,
super spreading a lot of this virus. So
what about the Secret Santas? and the gifts exchange. What are you gonna do with that?
I think for that type of stuff, if you do have a bubble, meaning if you do have an immediate bubble of people who have been infected together and basically and at the same, the same timeline, you should only do it with them. That's what I would recommend. If it's someone that basically is an add-on, like, oh, okay, they haven't been in the bubble, then if they're not in the bubble, I say don't do it.
Should they ship it?
That's that, or get them a gift card. That's what I say.
But then it'd be like, here you go, gift card. No, send me money. Just
or
send
just
me
Venmo
Cash
me,
App or
whatever.
Venmo me
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's
Zelle it
probably
to
the
me.
best thing. And the at least they can get that. The value of whatever gift you were going to give them, you give it to them in cash, and they can do whatever. Other than that, I would encourage you not to get together, but I know that's not reality. There's a lot of families that have even like 15 people in one household.
I mean,
what are you going to do?
We're not dumb. Just play it smart, and it'll be fine. I mean, I'm sure everyone's going to gather. I mean, it's just like with this lockdown thing. We've already got it figured out. Just let us go about our business. Everyone's gonna get together. Just be safe about it. That's it.
That's one thing we were preaching in the last couple of minutes of the podcast. Just be smart. Don't be foolish, of course. Like these 67 people that just got arrested in downtown LA for an illegal super spreading party.
Whoa, I gotta look that up.
So don't be like that. And even if you have any kind of doubt that or uncertainty that, okay, maybe this isn't safe, just respectfully say, hey, I'm going to stay outside. I'm going to keep my distance, or maybe just leave, whatever. But I know people are not going to leave. And this is the shit that is unrealistic. Like, people will gather. They are going to gather. And, that's the bottom line. And just be smart about it. And, quarantine yourself, obviously, afterwards. Because people are going to gather again on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, keep it in if you have a bubble of previous infected people within your family, just keep it like that. And even then, doesn't mean you're going to be fucking rubbing elbows and shit. Just same fucking protocols, man. Same protocols. And then play it smart. That's all I can say, because I'm not gonna say, "Oh, don't get together."
Yeah,
that's not realistic. Yeah,
it's not
that's
right
not
to
real.
say either. I mean, you can't tell people what to do. So have fun, but be smart. That's all. Be safe and be smart.
And don't share drinks. That's it. All right, guys. Have a good night. Merry Christmas and
Merry Christmas.
Merry New Year. It's Happy New Year.
Oh, I saw your trailer. I can't wait.
All right. We'll talk about that on the next cast.
Time, yeah.
We'll revisit a post-Christmas, pre-New Year's. So
cool.